Swerve Strickland takes a shot at Booker T after AEW Dynasty goes off the air. Plus, Tony Khan confirms another AEW star injury. And we have a retirement rumor killer around Brock Lesnar. It's all in the Cultaholic wrestling news right now. So after 5.5 hours of AEW Dynasty, after the cameras went off air, it was down to Swerve Strickland to address his house, encouraging people not to leave straight away because he had a few bits to say. And it was amongst some of the nicer things that he ended on something quite sharp.
Yeah, closing out the show with this message. One last thing just for my own amusement. F Booker T. So this comes from this past week where Swerve made comments about Booker T on Vlad TV, saying that Booker was unfairly treated in WWE. He brought up Vince McMahon using racial slurs on television. Booker responded to Swerve's comments on his Hall of Fame podcast, saying that he and Swerve had discussed the matter in person and that Booker had told Swerve that he was disappointed in him for bringing it up. There's a full transcript of the Booker T and Swerve situation on our website, cultaholic.com. It's obviously the beef is still there. They're certainly not the best of friends or anything like that.
No.
I thought it was like Swerve, he likes making headlines, for sure. I thought it was a curious way to finish out the pay-per-view when he should have perhaps been, in character, dismayed about the fact that he was just screwed out of this world title shot. But I know it took place after the cameras stopped rolling, but at the same time, all of these things are filmed and then circulated. It's essentially part of the show now. If it happens in the ring in front of people, people are filming it and they're going to stick it straight on Twitter. Yeah,
a lot of stuff was thanking the fans as well, saying like how his career skyrocketed after he started training in Philly 13 years ago. He referenced the fact that his family were front row and ringside for the show as well, and he thanked them. He thanked Prince Nana, thanked the fans for coming. Bigged up the fact that AEW was the place for wrestling, and I did all that, and then just went. Oh, and also, by the way, F Booker T, just as you say, making headlines, knowing that these things aren't just kept in the crowd in Philadelphia.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't want to get too much into the situation. I don't think it's our place to talk about that specific thing. Interestingly, after AEW Dynasty went off air, there was a little meeting with Swerve and one Montel Vontavious Porter. So this was shared on MVP's Instagram, and Swerve and MVP shake hands. They tease an alliance essentially between the two. There has been a bit of a tease from this before. MVP handing a business card last year, wasn't it, to Prince Nana as well to pass on to Swerve. Do you think that's a possible thing that we'll see play out on TV, or is that just MVP making some content for the gram?
Well, it could be a bit of both, couldn't it? Because like you say, everything nowadays is kind of part of the story and it's all part and parcel with it. The idea that big end of show schmoz, the now monthly overbooked finish for AEW just saw everybody getting involved, and once again, the baby faces getting overwhelmed by the heels. So maybe it leans into that. Maybe it's Swerve going, you know what, I can't just rely on the goodies. I've got to get some of the baddies on side as well if we want to take out the Death Riders et al.
I'm so tired of it, Tom.
I was tired 3 months ago.
Well, yeah, for sure. But it's gotten to the point, right, with this Death Riders stuff, where whoever defeats Jon Moxley, I'm not going to be happy for them because they're the new champion. I'm going to be happy because the Death Riders stuff will surely be winding down at that point. And it is... They should have just done it yesterday with Swerve, even if that's not a long-term goal. It's so tedious. I think it was a slog last night.
I think there was lots of great stuff in that show.
Oh yeah, there always is.
And only for it's almost like, hey, thanks for staying with us. 5 hours of amazing wrestling. Lol, stupid finish. Moxley still the champ. What, like a broken pencil. I don't see the point of where we're going with this Moxley stuff. I feel like we should have had, I guess the EVP's coming back. Is some storyline advancement?
I don't care.
I know.
And I see some real hardcore, diehard AEW fans now struggling to justify what they're seeing on TV and support it. I'm seeing a lot of people not necessarily tuning out. I don't follow everybody's viewing habits, but goodness me, it's hard work.
Oh, it certainly is. But don't worry if 5.5 hours of wrestling wasn't enough. We had the media scrum afterwards.
Of course.
So some nice bits in there. I did enjoy Muscle Man Malcolm asking Toni Storm what her Waffle House order is, and Toni Storm storming off in disgust. That was a nice part of the presser for me.
She's the best.
She's so good. But during the media scrum, Tony Khan revealed that another member of the AEW roster is on the injury bench at the moment.
That's right. We talked about this last week, but confirming the news that OC, Orange Cassidy, is indeed out with an injury. He said the past 2 weeks, it's no secret, the company got bit hard by an injury bug. The roster and locker room really rallied hard. To lose wrestlers like Orange Cassidy and then Jay White back-to-back weeks, those are two of the top stars in the company, and we would have loved to have had them both here tonight. And everybody stepped up. It's just, there are so many that are out. We went through a list last week, and just the prominent names, there are like 10 prominent names that are out of AEW right now. And people that would have probably been quite handy to have around as well as some people involved in big storylines. It just sucks.
Yeah, there's certainly an injury bug that has bitten the company, as Tony Khan said during the media scrum. Also worth noting, PW Insider report that Bryan Danielson backstage again last night at Dynasty. Don't quite know what his role was there last night. Certainly an in-ring return doesn't seem likely at this point. I think that he's quite happy just on the sidelines, just being around the business.
Certainly not in the short term. He's somebody that for forever, in fact, has just gone, my whole life is professional wrestling, and it's being inside the ring. That's what I want to do. And then his tune changed, sort of like this time last year, maybe. He started saying in interviews, actually, you know what, maybe being a backstage agent, a producer, whatever, that'll do it for me. So I don't expect to see him back in the ring. I really miss him. I think AEW TV is lacking in some way without him. I think him not being there is a bit of a problem, but hey, what can you do? He's given his whole life to wrestling.
He wrestled like he used his body like he stole it out of the car park for so many years, and he kept going, I love wrestling, all I want to do is wrestle. And as the injuries mounted up, you kind of heard him, as you say, and he was going, hey, you know what I like? Not wrestling. That's really good as well.
It was weird, wasn't it?
A nice little sit down with a cup of tea. I like that too. That's really good.
Good for him. Because he didn't scale it back at all, did he? Like his like the end of his career, his full-timing career in AEW, it wasn't like it was like a half-assed Bryan Danielson at all. He was still just doing insane stuff, putting his body on the line, as you say.
All the way through. So no Bryan Danielson return, but what of Brock Lesnar, Adam Pacitti?
This is a weird one. So it was posted over the weekend on Instagram, and it's got a lot of people talking. A fan who just had a chance meeting with Brock Lesnar, and somebody asked him, did you ask him if he was going to come back to WWE? To which this fan replied, I did. He said that he's not and that he is retired. So he bumped into him at the steakhouse, and then he allegedly said he's not and that he's retired. I struggle to believe that Brock Lesnar would just tell a fan that personally, but apparently this Instagram story was deleted before the Instagram story delete window, so they just expire after 24 hours, and it's been debunked by people online. We're still waiting on full-on confirmation on this from journalists. I imagine we'll probably hear that today. I wouldn't read too much into it personally. You know what? I think it would be foolish to bring Brock Lesnar back to WWE TV while the civil suit is continuing, and he has been named now in that legal filing. But I love Brock. He's like one of my favorite of the last 20 odd years. I'm in the minority here in that I'm missing Brock Lesnar on TV, even during the Suplex City stuff where we were getting same Brock like week in, week out. Well, when he turned up. I still really, really enjoyed it. There's nobody else like him, but it wouldn't surprise me if he is done. But I'm not sure that he told that fan that personally.
I don't think so either. I don't think so. But you might have seen it circulating. We thought it best to address it, so we've addressed it right here. Raw tonight is ludicrously stacked.
It is. We have got a little Raw preview for you tonight. A lot of this stuff announced over the last few days, but it really is a stacked show. You've got El Grande Americano in action once again.
CM Punk, Paul Heyman, and Seth Rollins all appearing after that segment we saw on SmackDown that revealed that Punk is going to be managed by Heyman on night one of WrestleMania.
Goodness gracious me, Roman Reigns not a happy bunny. Women's Intercontinental Championship is on the line as Lyra Valkyria defends against Bayley.
The World Tag titles on the line. The War Raiders versus the New Day.
You can't do that anymore. They're horrible.
I know. New Day.
Penta going on with little Dominic Mysterio. Mysterio.
Little Dominic Mysterio. Look at him go. Gunter and Uso having an appearance. This is after Jimmy got bloodied in one of the best segments of this entire gosh darn story. And they did it the week after I did that video where I went, this is rubbish. And I think they watched it and went, oh, we best make sure that weirdy beardy bloke from the Northeast doesn't think that this week. That's exactly why they did it.
The visual of Gunther drenched in blood, it's brilliant. It's so good. And finally, Raw GM Adam Pearce is going to be addressing the situation surrounding the Women's World Championship after the controversial ending to Rhea Ripley and Io Sky's Women's World Title match. So expect the three ways to be formalised.
I love it if he just goes, that's going to be one-on-one.
Yeah, that's
Bye.
it.
Bye.
Yeah. You were bang out of order. Go on.
I'd love it if they did that. It's a big old episode of Raw tonight. And it was a long old, big old night for AEW last night at Dynasty. You can check out what happened at Dynasty with Jack the Jobber on our channel right now. And for the very latest wrestling news at any time, you can check out Cultaholic.com. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.